Hey there folks, I'm Nathan Beatty and I'm the sole member of Team NBT in Geelong's Govhack event. So my project for Govhack2015 is Geelong VR, a fully navigable 1-to-1 scale reconstruction of Geelong's CBD in virtual reality. In all, 4 square kilometre area is covered, including the parts of the bay that are in the data provided. And yeah, the goal of this project was to create an incredibly natural method of viewing the data associated with various objects around Geelong. And I think that goal was well and truly met, as you'll see in the demo that I'll boot up now.
Alright, so you guys can see the demo. Alright, so you guys can see the demo loading up now. We do have 8,000 objects. This is about 2,500 buildings, 3,500 trees, and the rest is just streetlights, parking meters, road signs, and Wi-Fi hotspots. So all up, this is a roughly 4 square kilometre area of the Geelong CBD, which was pulled directly from the central Geelong 3D massing model dataset. So now that that's all loaded up, the first thing you probably notice is the heads-up display. We can see our current location, which is the Steam Packet Gardens, and we can see any nearby Wi-Fi hotspots, which there are none at the moment. So aside from that, we've also got the reticle in the middle, which is used to select things and basically show you what you're looking at. So since this is the Oculus Rift, I can actually move my head around. So if I look around, you'll see that you can see pretty much everything. If I look at an object that's interactive, you'll see that a reticle pops up there and shows you basically just the name of the object. So we've got trees, parking meters, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, so if we look at, say, this tree and press a button on our controller, we can see a bunch of added info pop up. And for example, if we do it on the parking meter, yeah, you can see the objects have a bunch of added data if you want to look at them. So aside from just having the head tracking, we also have full movement. So using just a game controller, we can look around and move around the environment. We'll just move this out here so you can get a good sense of how large this area is. So you can see all the way from Lime Burners Point around to the main CBD, and then down past Cunningham Pier where that Wi-Fi spot there is. All of that is, every building is fully modelled just from the central Geelong data, and every relevant data point that we decided to add in is in there in the correct location. So what I'll do now is just sort of go to a bunch of different data points and you can see what there is. Alright, so to start with, you can see that we're currently in the middle of a street. This is showing the data from Central Geelong 3D massing model. Basically, this is a model built for Google Earth, but we've sort of bottled into our engine here. It gives us the terrain, the texture that goes on the terrain, which is the road here we're standing on, and it gives us a model of every building that's in the CBD, which is, I think 2,600 or so. Right, the next one is trees. So as you saw before, we can look at a tree, we can get the added data for it, and this is from the Geelong trees dataset. Right, next is parking meters. So we've got the rate, the hours, the time limit, and the operational days. Alright. Following up from that is signposts, or road signs. This is from the Geelong road signs dataset. You can see here we've got a one-way hazard marker. These ones don't have any additional data just because there isn't really anything of interest there. But yeah, you can see all that stuff. I'll just head now to the Wi-Fi area. So these large purple bubbles you can see dotted around the city show Wi-Fi points. We've basically assumed that the Wi-Fi has a 75-meter range. Obviously it may vary, but since it's not in the data, we'll just have to assume that. So see if we walk in here, the Wi-Fi hotspots will update with the name of the hotspot. We don't give any additional data than that, but it's, I just think, a nice touch. And finally is the streetlights, which are for some reason mainly situated around the Eastern Beach area. So with these we don't really have any data because all that's included is latitude and longitude, but we do put it in just so you can see whereabouts all the streetlights are.
Alright, so now that you've seen the demo, you're probably wondering what sort of uses that we've imagined for this. So the most obvious one is for really easy data visualization with any data that has coordinates in it. So with this, in the demo we used latitude and longitude data and then mapped that out as to where that should be in the environment. So a good example of how you could use this is instead of combing through a massive CSV file to find a particular tree or parking meter, you can just jump into or use the software and then literally walk up to the object that you want and get data on it instantly. So it saves a lot of time trying to comb through like data that's really hard to read a lot of the time, and anything with a coordinate you can, like if you know where it is, you can just instantly get the data that you want. Another good use for this would be tourism. So if you want, you can let people walk through a city virtually before going there, and you can mark things like accommodation, where food is, where attractions are, and all that sort of stuff. Just, yeah, if people can experience the city virtually, they might want to come here, more likely, right? And the last one is education. So for something like field trips, you can deploy the software out, have kids safely explore the entire city, and you can have like location-based facts. You can mix it with historical data or like historical pictures and that sort of thing. And yeah, so that's the project anyway. Hope you all enjoy it, and I hope some of you get a chance to play with it. Okay, so